Welcome. Welcome to the presentation about the stories from the Slowlands, how to say Gemütlichkeit in Dutch. My name is Pohl. I'm the market manager from NBTC Germany. NBTC stands for Netherlands Board of Tourism and Convention, and we are the national destination management organization for the Netherlands. I'm the moderator of today, and our topic is, that was too fast. Our topic of today is about Slowlands. Slowlands is a combination of slow travel and lowlands. In a world where everything goes faster, we invite you to slow down. Not what I just did with a clicker. Slow travel means not just seeing a destination, but really feeling it. It's really about diving into the destination, slow down, relax, enjoy your time, and get also in contact with the people so you can feel like to be one of us, at least for a short while. And I think it's most important that not I am telling a story about the Slowlands, but I do this together with many other partners for today. And I really like to invite our partners to tell different stories about the Slowlands. So I like to invite the first speaker of today to come here also on the podium. Niels Steinhäuser. You're working for the Dutch Cycling Embassy. Welcome here for our presentation. Niels, you're German, but you live for quite a while already in the Netherlands. And you're working for the Dutch Cycling Embassy, really special organization about the topic of cycling. And I know it's a big passion also from you, and you know that cycling is so important also for the whole life, I think. And so I'm really eager to learn more, and please tell us your story about your Slowlands.
Yeah, thank you, Martin. So yeah, a lot of people know that the Netherlands is a cycling country, but the question is, why is it actually a cycling country, and how did the Netherlands actually become a cycling country? First of all, the Dutch Cycling Embassy, Martin just mentioned it. What kind of organization is this? We're not an official embassy, but we represent the cycling knowledge of the Netherlands. And we share this knowledge worldwide with people in many countries across the globe. We have a huge network of organizations, cities, regions, knowledge institutions, bike producers, so the whole cycling knowledge of the Netherlands is really part of our network. And together with them, we organize a lot of activities. These include study visits. We bring also press delegations and experts from different regions to the Netherlands and show them why it's so nice to cycle in the Netherlands, to experience the Netherlands. We organize workshops, give presentations, and are at conferences like these. This is a map of Europe and the cycle paths in Europe. And I think what you can quite clearly see is where the border of the Netherlands is. So the Netherlands really has this extremely dense network of cycle paths across the whole country, 153,000 kilometers. This would, if you would add it up all together, last 3.8 times around the whole world. So a very long and extensive cycle network. The Netherlands also have more bicycles than people, very famously. So people own several bikes. They do 5.8 billion kilometers of recreational trips, 1.5 billion trips a year. And Dutch children are the happiest in the world, which is also partly because they can so independently and freely be mobile, go to friends, go to school alone on a bike. Also, elderly people cycle a lot. The age group 65 to 75 is in the percentage the highest group that cycles in the Netherlands. So this also shows that, it's something for everyone. But this wasn't always the case. This is an image of Amsterdam, and you can see a few cyclists between the cars, but this was Amsterdam in the 70s. And you can clearly see there's not real cycle paths, no cycle infrastructure, so many people don't really know that the Netherlands looked like this just a few decades ago. Also here images of Dutch cities where you see huge highways crossing through the cities, where you have parking lots. So this is something that the Netherlands have not always been the cycling paradise, which they are now. But in this situation, there were a lot of protests coming. A lot of children were dying in traffic and the oil crisis. So there was a change in thinking of how this country should be mobile. And huge demonstrations like the one you can see here with people in Amsterdam lying in a park and big bike demonstrations trying to fight for a better cycling infrastructure. And then cities transformed. Like this one, Amsterdam, the road through the city is now a park. Another street in Amsterdam is now a pedestrianized area where you can walk. The car parking at Utrecht Central Station is now the biggest bike parking in the world. The canal of Utrecht used to be a highway and was now transformed back into a canal. It's nearly impossible to believe that this is the same place. You can see it at the church. So these transformations have been gigantic in the Netherlands. And how do the Dutch do it? How do they make sure that everyone can cycle? Well, they follow 5 principles to make sure that cycling infrastructure is accessible to everyone. Cohesion, directness, safety, comfort, and attractiveness. I'll go through them now. So cohesion means that you have a cohesive, a complete network, that you don't have to stop somewhere or that you have cycle paths that end in the middle of nowhere, that you can really cycle through the whole country without stopping, that you have bike parking where you can safely park your bike, that you have nice surfaces, and that you have also nice wayfinding to make sure that you know where you need to go. Directness means that you get the directest route, the best route for cyclists, crossing rivers, along rail lines, underpasses, overpasses, and that people can really get the fastest route by bike to make sure that this mode of transportation, but also for recreational purposes, is really a very convenient way of moving. Safety is a very important factor of Dutch cycling infrastructure, making sure that the bike parkings are safe, but also that the interactions with cars are very safe, that you don't need to be scared to get in conflicts because it's divided infrastructure, well lit at night, and also safe for children to cycle. Comfort, also very important for Dutch cycling infrastructure, to make sure that it's not too steep to go up and down. Of course, the Netherlands do not have many mountains, but you still have to cross rail lines and rivers. But also that that it's comfortable to ride, that it's inviting to ride, that people like to go from A to B. And lastly, attractiveness, so that the cycle paths are attractive to cycle on. For example, using art, along water, through nature, the countryside, under trees. So all these are factors to make sure that cycling is really attractive in the Netherlands. And if we look now at recreational cycling, a few examples. You have the knooppunt network in the Netherlands, so a junction network across the whole country. You have more than 10,000 points, and you can really use this network to go through the whole country. And before you plan from which point to which point you need to go, and you can then really make your own routes through the whole country. Here we see again, it's well signed, it's a complete network. You can smoothly go pretty much from any place to any other place. And there are also long distance routes. You can here see the complete network. It's, as said, very dense. But out of these routes across the country, you have main routes, which are 15 landelijke fietsroutes, landesfietsroutes. And these connect interesting points, go along the coast. There are several recreational tours that go along touristical highlights of the country. And yeah, they build up a network where you can connect the most interesting points. And then lastly, why do the Dutch cycle in bad weather? This is a question we often get. What do you do when it rains, when it snows? Can you still cycle? Well, one thing in the Netherlands is the mentality. The Dutch say, there's no bad weather, it's just bad clothing, or you're not made of sugar, you're not going to melt in the rain. So there's a certain mentality, but there's also a pragmatism of like, it's just a short distance, it's safe infrastructure, and you also have weather apps where you can plan your ride. Then also it's a habit. Dutch children start from a young age to cycle, so they're used to cycling, and they really don't bother so much anymore. But probably the most important part is that you make sure that people are offered a safe infrastructure that is clean, that is well maintained, where everyone is invited to cycle on. So yeah, why do the Dutch cycle? It's not necessarily in their blood and their genes. It's really this result of the fight from society and the hard work of brave politicians, innovative planners. You've seen that this transformation was made in this country to build safe infrastructure that everyone can participate in cycling. And this really created this cycling culture that you now see in the Netherlands and made it mainstream that everyone is cycling now. And yeah, if the Dutch can do it, can have this transformation, then every country can do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Niels. I like it. Cycling for everyone is great. It's not just a tourism topic, but it's really for all, for the inhabitants and yeah, for everybody that comes to the Netherlands, but for, I think, a good example for the whole world, I would say. Now from cycling to another topic of the Slowlands. It's about water and water sports. Welcome, Annika. Annika, you're from Marketing Groningen. You're born in Groningen, you are raised in Groningen, you're the press and PR manager for Marketing Groningen, and I think you have a really interesting story about water sports, and of course about Groningen. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Martin. Okay, let's go. Oh, I'm too fast. Sorry, it's Slowlands. Hi, everybody. It's nice to see I have some fans on the first row for Groningen. Hey! We say in Groningen a short word like mooi, and it means like hi. It's a friendly hi, and we are very down to earth in our city and province of Groningen, and that's why I want to say mooi. I will just start first with our summer campaign like Slowlands in Groningen.
There's no turning back once we're out the door. message here on the telephone, 'cause we've no idea when we're coming home. Any place we wander to, any season we go through, I'll be fine as long as I'm with you. Heaven knows, heaven knows. Running round the world with you. My oh my, remember when we were just becoming.
So our province and city in Groningen, our capital is also called Groningen, is here up in the north. So if you have the Netherlands, we're up in the north. And you can see here, we have a slogan for like 20 years, there goes nothing above Groningen, and literally it is, because we only have here the Wadden Sea, and it's like a UNESCO site from the Netherlands, Denmark and Germany, because we're also close to the border from Germany here. And that's my next slide. It's called mud flood walking. There is one unique experience on the Wadden Sea. If the tide is low, you can cross the Wadden Sea by mud flood walking. And I will show you after this short movie where people will go with a boat, and they will just literally stuck on the Wadden Sea. And there you can, from the boat, you can do the walking. But you need to be careful, because if you walk too far away, you will get wet, not only on your shoes, but what can happen is when the tide is going back high, then it's like in a few hours it goes like 9 meters, so you need to swim back. And that's why I always say, take a guide with you, because he knows how long you can stay on the Wadden Sea without getting a wetsuit. But if you like being very sportive, you can try, but I will not guarantee you will be back again on the boat. So it's a unique experience.
Het meest bijzondere aan het droogvallen is het verrassende. Het is iedere keer anders. Je kan nooit zeggen hoe het gaat worden van tevoren. Ik ben Hans Vlasbloem, zeilschipper van Zeilclipper Najade. Wij verzorgen avontuurlijke zeilreizen over het Wad. Wij doen heel veel tochten waarbij we sowieso altijd gaan droogvallen of een keer gaan nachtzeilen. Het leuke eraan is, de mensen moeten weer met elkaar dingen doen. Het landschap waar je doorheen vaart is bij hoogwater allemaal water. En dan ga je droogvallen en ze stom verbaasd. Je voelt je op een mooie manier nietig. Nietig, maar niet eenzaam. De intensiteit van het Wad is gewoon zo bijzonder door het getij, dat het water op en neer gaat. De gasten die wij krijgen komen om die reden. Ik ga dan veel met de mensen ook op pad en dan gaan we kijken wat voor diertjes er allemaal in het Wad leven. Oesters rapen en korrels zoeken. En een enkele keer zetten we een netje uit om harders te vissen. Ik zeg wel altijd tegen mensen, als je het Wad op gaat, je mag van mij helemaal wegdromen, maar neem even een klokje mee, zet hem op een wekker. Dat je na een half uur eens kijkt, hoe ver ben ik eigenlijk? Want dat half uur heb je ook weer nodig om terug te komen.
Yes, it worked. Here you can see our beautiful city of Groningen, and our city is around canals. And you can see here in the summer you can go like sub-paddle, and also you can go swimming by the lake. And in the winter, if you are lucky and the weather is very cold, okay, the last 5 years it was terrible, but okay, you can go ice skating around. So it's a lot. It's very funny, because then you can just go around, and a lot of people are on the ice skates, because Holland, we are very professional also in ice skating. We have Jutta Leerdam, for example. She's the best. And here, if you go like 10 minutes from out of our city center Groningen, you have here, for example, it's called Garnwerd. And there you can just go by boat and park your little or big boat next to the terrace and just enjoy the view. Also, you can swim again in the water, it's no problem. And this is very, in the summer, it's very crowded also with a lot of German tourists, and they really love it here. And here you see, this is Appingedam. It's another region in our province that also have city rides. And here you can see it called hanging kitchens. And it means that in the past, they built the hanging kitchens because to make more spare room for living and also for cooking and to be direct on the water for the washing. So the women were very clever already those days. And also it's here, you can go like by boat, going around or just walk. It's very nice to be here in Appingedam. And here, this is in the city center again of Groningen. Here you can see houseboats. It's typical for our city because during it's called the Diepenring, we have a lot of houseboats, but everybody lives in there. So not only students, but also families or expats, they can also rent a houseboat. And in the summer, it's like, I always say, it's like a live Tinder game, because then a lot of people will come by, and if you're on the boat and you're single, you can just wave and say, okay, right, left, swipe. it's very nice to have a houseboat, but it's also a little bit, how do you say that? You can't get a houseboat just if you say, I want to live there. It's like, it's also expensive, but if you have one, it's good because you just one step outside. Then you can go swimming and ice skating again. And here we have our dark sky park. It's in Lauwersmeer. And it's also UNESCO, and it's a dark sky park. If you go, for example, by night, you can see a lot of stars. It's also good for bird watching, etc. And if you are lucky, then you have, oh, that's too fast, Annika. That's a nice loving seal. Where's I missed one. But of course, you can see the northern light if you are very lucky. And we had it already a few times, and one of my colleagues had lovely pictures of it. So you can just ask him, Tom. He's in the audience too. And this is the WEC, and I will show you a small video where it will be represented. So the WEC will be opened the 25th of April, and this will be like, oh, it's again, I will like do it this. It's an education center where there will be like a lot of, for children, they can do a lot of activities, but they're also going to do a lot of studying for the seal. And normally they were in Pieterburen. I don't know if you know the place, but that was like a hospital for the seals. And now they are going to be moved to a new place called the WEC, and that will be bigger, and also people can come really close to the seal to see them. And it's going to be like a lot of experience and a combination between the human and nature. So they will open end of April, and it's also in more languages. So also for the people who doesn't understand Dutch, it's also in English or on German. And I think I made it.
Thank you. Thank you, Annika. I think Groningen is very impressive, and I'm honest, I've been a couple of times to the city of Groningen, but I never experienced water in Groningen, so This
You're
will be
always welcome,
something
Martin. You know.
that's on my wish list right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now I'm taking you from the northeast, from the Netherlands, to the heart of the Netherlands. I like to welcome another speaker, Bel de Gast. You are the cycling mayor of the city of Utrecht, so really in the heart of the Netherlands. You are an ex-professional cyclist, but you are also a physiotherapist, and you are the cycling mayor of Utrecht, the city of Utrecht, which is really special, I would say. And thank you for being here, and thank you for also telling us your story about the Slowlands.
Yes, thank you, Martin. First of all, I don't want to promote Utrecht. My story is about the city of Utrecht, a little bit about myself, and about the bike and how a bike can change the world. So it's a little bit different maybe than the other presentations. Yes, and how bikes can change the world. A little bit about myself. I grew up in the city center of Utrecht. I grew up with a bike, like most of the other children in the Netherlands. And I did everything by bike. Going to school, to friends, even during holiday there was a bike. And was it special? No, not at all. It was normal. And I thought it was everywhere in the world normal. When I started my student life, I went for an internship to Nepal. And I was there for a half year, and I wanted to rent a bike in Kathmandu. And I asked people, yeah, sorry, but where can I rent a bike? And people were looking at me if I was crazy and stupid at the same time. I said, are you really want to rent a bike? It's not possible, it's dangerous. And it was for the first time in my life that I saw a city without bikes. And a few years later, I was riding in a professional peloton. And I was in a privileged position to ride races all over the world and saw again cities without bikes. And I had teammates who had a lot of bikes, but not a normal city bike to go shopping or to visit friends. And it was also during that period that I realized that the bike is so much more than something to ride a race, win a race. And it's really interesting to invest in cycling and make the world a little bit more healthy and more sustainable. When I stopped with cycling on a high level, I was asked to become the cycling mayor of Utrecht. And yes, that's what I'm doing right now. I represent the city, talk to journalists, try to inspire other cultures. And I want to make the next step in Utrecht. Even more people on the bike. And as Martin was telling, I work in the health sector as a physiotherapist. And I see every day that we are living not in a really healthy world. And I'm not saying that the bike is the solution, but I really think that it can play a really important part in finding a solution to get more people on the bike. So that's one of my focus points. Yes. As I said, I don't want to promote Utrecht, but I'm sorry, I'm a little bit proud of our city. It's a city that's made for people. As it was not always the case, like Niels was telling before. But at the moment, it's a city where people are cycling, walking, and the car is the guest in our city. So it's another way of thinking. And it's a really nice and friendly city, and it feels more like a village than a real city. It's a city with a medieval center, and we have the old new Domtoren. This was a picture of last week when I was riding back from work. And last but not least, it's the only city in the world who had a start of the Tour de France, the Giro, and the Vuelta. A city with ambitions and with a vision for his own people and for tourism. And you see the same ambition and vision actually in the whole region. The region wants to be the cycling region of Europe. And really investing a lot in a healthy and sustainable society. Invest quite a lot in cycling. We have the doorfietsroutes, I don't know the English word for it, but that are the cycling paths without crossings or less crossings and traffic lights. And it's really nice to cycle if you go to work, but also for recreation. And investing in cycling is not only investing in infrastructure, it's also investing in getting people on a bike. And getting people on a bike that are not only the middle-aged man in Lycra on a too expensive racing bike, but it's everyone. Children, elderly people, recreation, and people who are living in the city and want to go to work. I think, here are a few pictures of the region. I can tell more than an hour, I think, about all the nice things we have in the region. But when I talk from my own experience, it's a really small area with a lot of things to do. So you can easily travel by train to the region, rent a bike, and cycle, or you can walk. A really nice combination between culture, UNESCO heritage, and local restaurant, and not a really far or 3-star restaurants, but with a local food and where you can sit in your sport outfit. It's really nice. And here, actually, every weekend I have a sort of a holiday. This is an example of what you can do during holiday or during your weekend day. Start in the city center with a breakfast and do some sport activities, bike, or do a trail run or walk. Lunch in the city with friends or family. Visit the castle museum. And at the end of the day, of course, drink a beer, cook together, or go to a nice restaurant. Slow down, relax, enjoy. And it's a really good balance between sport, nature, good food, and slow down. This is almost the last slide, and maybe the most important one. Of course, it would be nice as people are coming to the region and have a nice weekend or week in our region. But more important, and I think that's for me also the value of tourism, learn from each other, get inspired, and take something with you. And I don't say that Utrecht is perfect. Also, we have some problems, especially we have at the moment too many bikes on the road. But there are good examples to implement in your own life and in your own region. And we all want to live in a healthy and sustainable world. This is the last one. It's about slow down, relax, and enjoy, and practice what you preach. I can go back by train, that's 8 hours. I can go back by car, that's 7 or 8 hours. I can go back by airplane, that's 1 hour. But I can go by bike, and that's 3 days. And that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I go in 3 days back from Berlin to the Netherlands, testing the new Eurovelo route, explore the Dutch or the German culture and the German cycling paths, and relax and slow down. Bikes can change the world.
Thank you very much, Bill. I think really great inspiration for everybody. I love cycling also very much, but I think, you gave a lot of inspiration and a personal story. Thank you very much. We started the journey in the northeast, in Groningen. We went to the heart of the Netherlands, and now let's move forward to the southern part of the Netherlands. I would like to welcome Floortje here on the stage. Floortje, thanks for being here. Floortje, you are the project coordinator at Van Gogh Brabant.
Yeah.
Really interesting. Thank you for being here and telling us a little bit more about maybe also the topic of hiking and the slowlands of Brabant.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for inviting us to come here and tell something about Brabant, our beautiful province. I'm not gonna go back to Brabant by bike, but we go by train. So yeah, great story as well. I'm gonna go and tell you something about Vincent van Gogh in our beautiful province in North Brabant. But first, I want to challenge you a bit. I have a sound recording, and I want to hear of you guys from the audience what you feel, what you hear. So here it is. I think it's waiting a bit. It's not that loud now, but is there somebody who wants to tell me if this is like a relaxing sound? It's going to be, needs to be a bit louder, but it's okay. What do you hear? What do you think it is?
Well, it's not so relaxing.
No.
It's, it sounds very busy.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you if it goes. Yeah, it is the busy streets of Amsterdam. And if you want to slow down, and with the trend what Martin told us, for us, this is not like slow travel. So I want to show you or let you hear another voice or sound memo. This is more relaxing, right? I guess, right? Yeah. Well, if I go out of my door, go into Van Gogh National Park, because that's where I live right now in Brabant, I hear this sound, and it's really relaxing. I think our province is one of the most popular provinces for the slow travel trend. So this is basically really it, what you see in our province. But let me tell you more about Vincent, because Vincent started or was born in Zundert. Then after that, he learned his passion, or he became an artist in Etteleur. He started sketching a lot of drawings, and learned that he has a passion for painting as well. And after that, of course, he started painting the famous potato eaters in Goenee. And you can see it here. And let me go back real quick to the other one. For us, this is also our 3 locations in Brabant. We tell the story of Vincent, each in their own way. And what a good thing to tell you or new is in Goenee 2 years ago we renewed the museum. So it's a lot bigger, and we tell more about Goenee and his inspiration there and how he started there. And later this year, we start with a new experience in the Van Gogh Church in Etteleur. So we're renovating that as well. So together with those 3 museums, we try to tell the story, but not only in those places, but also in the south of the Netherlands, in Brabant. We have 's-Hertogenbosch, we have it Noord-Brabants Museum, where we have a Van Gogh collection. And in Tilburg, we have, for the small painters, we have like a drawing class or drawing lessons to go to. And in Breda, he went there as well, and we tell the story over there as well. So we have a lot of places in Brabant to tell the story of Van Gogh and his journey. So you can, basically you can follow his footsteps in Brabant, not only in the museums and the stories we tell, but also we find the inspiration, or he found his inspiration in the nature and in Van Gogh National Park. So you see a lot that's really nice to, maybe it's a good inspiration for you as well to start drawing and sketching just like Vincent. So together we try to tell the story of Vincent and how he became how he was later in his life and how he became a master painter. So in Van Gogh National Park, we have a lot of walking and cycling routes, really a lot in nature, and you can slow down every time you want. We have a lot of B&Bs, but we also have a lot of F&B places or restaurants where you can slow down. You really feel the warmth of the Brabantish people or people from Brabant, and for all the seasons there's something there. So in the winter you can relax and go to the museum indoor, but also go and find the inspiration Vincent found. And also in autumn, in summer, there's a lot to see. So you can either walk or bike with the routes we organized. So here are a few. We based them on the locations where he found his inspiration and where we have the museums. And this is a small video of our walking route in Nune, just to show you a bit how it looks like. In Nune, but also at other places in Brabant, it's really nice that you see where Vincent found his inspiration, but you can also see the buildings or the things he painted. This is one of his paintings, and if you go to Nune, you basically see what he's painted. So this is outside the museum, but in Nune you have an indoor museum, but you can also go outside and it's a museum as well, and that's also in the other places. So that's some unique thing you don't see anywhere in the Netherlands or somewhere in the world, I guess. So it's fun to come and visit. And here are some pictures that you can see the sketches of Vincent, and that are a bit combined with landscape now. So it's still there, if you were wondering. Just like this. And this. And lastly, I want to tell you a bit about our program. I'm a program coordinator, and each year we try to pick up a team or match a team to Vincent and our walking routes and our cycling routes. And last year it was the year of the sunflower. The National Gallery 100 years ago in 2000, 100 years ago last year, they got the vase with the painting, the vase with sunflowers. And we thought, let's just put it there and seed some sunflowers and try to make the painting in real life and combine it with our cycling routes. So we try to seed all the sunflowers. You try to do it 3 times. With the rain in the Netherlands, it all flashed away. So we had to be just as stubborn as Vincent, because he always moved on and tried to not quit any time. But for that, the vase with the sunflowers and a lot of extra tourists and also a lot of people in the Netherlands could visit the painting in Atelier. So we try to combine the museums, try to combine the story of Vincent and the nature and our national park. So that was it. So thank you.
Thank you, Floortje. I think also another great story we heard now about hiking in North Brabant and slow down in North Brabant. I'm honest, I'm a big fan of Van Gogh in Brabant. I visited Nuenen a couple of times and I love it, and I can really recommend it for elderly people, but even also my 8-year-old daughter was a big fan of the new museum, so it's great. It's a great story. Well, we are almost at the end of the presentation today, but of course there are more stories. This is just a really short clip that we were using also on our homepage. Just a couple of seconds. Yeah, it's to recap, Slowlands, Slow Travel, Lowlands. It's of course a bit about cycling. It's of course about hiking and water sporting. It's about relaxing. Of course, food is a big part of if you travel to a country. But I think the most important thing, and that's what we try to show you also here in this presentation, it's about the people that makes also the country and to feel the country, not just to see it. If you scan this code, you will get to our website, holland.com Slowlands, to get even more inspiration and find more ideas where to travel to the Netherlands. And if you would like to know more also about the Netherlands, I like to invite you to our stand in Hall 18. We are there, 62 partners from the Netherlands. We're here for all the 3 days, and we would like to welcome you. And maybe all the speakers can come here to the stage once again for a short applause and a big thank you for being here, and thanks for listening. Thank you very much. Cool. Thank you. Hey, perfect timing.
Wow.
Oh, right on time.
Photo.
Wow.
Photo?
Yeah?
The moment of pictures.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, wow.
Lekker.
On the second, huh?